All right, let's jump right in, shall we? Music videos on YouTube, that's what we're tackling today.
We've got a ton of resources to dig through, yeah.
Guides, articles, even some of your own notes, it looks like. So
Yeah, we'll pull out the best stuff for you.
we're going to make this your ultimate guide to creating music videos.
Videos that don't just look good,
But
but
you got to get views.
gotta get seen by tons of people
Exactly. And I know from your notes, you really want to make your videos.
and stand out.
Yeah, stand out. There's a ton of content out there.
So much on YouTube. It's a competitive landscape for sure.
So where do we even begin? How do we even start to craft a music video that's going to grab people's attention and not let go?
Well, even before you think about cameras or editing, anything like that, it all starts with the concept.
Okay, so
The core.
so we're talking more than just cool visuals.
More.
It's about having a vision, right?
Absolutely. A
Hear
vision.
me.
Yeah, what story are you trying to tell with this video? How can you visually represent the mood and the message of the song?
I see. So, for example,
Let's say you've got like a super high energy pop anthem. You're going to want visuals that are just as dynamic.
yeah, lots of movement,
Maybe some choreography, bright colors.
big energy.
Exactly. But if you're working with like a ballad, something more intimate,
Yeah,
you might want to go for close-ups, subtle lighting, just a stripped back aesthetic.
I got it. So matching the visuals to the music, basically.
Matching, complementing, creating one cohesive experience.
Gotcha. So everything feels connected.
Yeah, and to really make that vision a reality, you're going to need a roadmap.
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
Storyboard.
Oh, storyboards.
Yeah, now I know what you're thinking.
Sounds complicated.
Big Hollywood production.
Way too much, yeah.
But it doesn't have to be.
Oh, really?
Even just a simple shot list can be a lifesaver.
So it's more about organization.
Organization, clarity, think of it like you wouldn't build a house without blueprints, right?
No.
A storyboard, even that shot list, it helps you visualize the flow of your video.
Makes sense.
Make sure you capture those key moments,
Yeah,
and it helps keep you on track during the shoot.
right. Stay organized.
Plus, it's great if you're working with other people.
Makes it easier to collaborate.
Exactly.
So having a visual plan, even if it's just rough sketches,
Super helpful.
much better than just winging it.
Oh, definitely. And speaking of planning, let's talk budget.
Uh-oh. Here comes the scary part.
It's easy to get carried away,
Oh, yeah.
You get excited, you start imagining all these elaborate sets,
Oh, proper.
fancy cameras.
Yeah.
But one thing that came up over and over in your research,
Really?
you can make a great music video on a tight budget.
That's a relief to hear.
No need to break the bank.
So how do we make the most of what we've got then?
You got to get creative.
Okay.
Look around your house, your neighborhood, your friends' places. Use what you've got.
With a filmmaker's eye, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah, so like a living room could be an intimate setting.
Could be.
An alleyway could be edgy, urban. My friend has a cool record collection. That could be a prop.
Perfect, you see. It's about resourcefulness.
And sometimes those limitations can actually,
Push you further.
yeah, you think outside the box more.
You're forced to.
That's when the cool ideas come in.
Absolutely.
This is what I love, the challenge.
You like that.
I do. It's like a puzzle.
I see that.
Making something great with not a lot.
Problem solving.
Exactly.
And that's essential for any filmmaker, especially if you're working solo or with a small crew. Yeah, you got to wear all the hats.
But there's one area where you can't cut corners.
Audio?
Oh, absolutely.
I've seen videos with amazing visuals.
But if the sound is bad,
It's a disaster.
it ruins the whole thing.
People might forgive a shaky camera, even bad lighting sometimes.
But not bad audio.
Yep, it's a deal breaker.
So we got to prioritize that good sound.
No matter what.
Get a decent mic.
At least that.
Okay, so we've got our concept, our storyboard. We're mindful of our budget.
We're getting there.
What's next? Time to shoot.
Time to shoot.
Lights, camera, action.
Almost. But before we get there, let's talk about the tools.
The equipment.
What you'll need to bring your vision to life.
All right, let's talk cameras.
Okay.
Because this is one where I saw a lot of different opinions in my research.
Really? What kind of stuff?
Some people saying you need a fancy DSLR for professional results.
Okay.
Others saying your phone is good enough these days.
Interesting.
So what's the real deal?
Well, it's true. Phone cameras have gotten amazingly good,
They have.
especially in good lighting.
Yeah.
But dedicated cameras, like your DSLRs,
Yeah.
they give you more control over things like aperture,
Yep.
shutter speed, ISO,
Right.
so you get more creative flexibility.
I see. So it's a trade-off.
Kind of. Yeah, convenience versus control.
So if you're just starting out, keep it simple. Use your phone.
Could be a great option.
But if you want to get more serious,
Want more control over your shots?
yeah,
then investing in a camera could be worth it.
Okay, that makes sense. But whatever camera you choose,
Good lighting is still key, right?
absolutely, lighting can make or break your video,
I believe it.
no matter how good your camera is.
So it's not just point the camera at the sun and go.
Not quite. You got to be smarter than that.
So what do we need to know?
Well, have you heard of the golden hour?
I think so.
That time right after sunrise or just before sunset?
Okay.
That's when the light is soft and diffused. It's perfect.
Ah, I see.
You can also use reflectors to bounce light back onto your subject.
Reflectors.
Yeah, like those shiny boards.
Okay.
Fills and shadows, makes everything look better.
Right.
And if you're inside, you can diffuse harsh sunlight with curtains.
Oh, interesting.
Or even a white bedsheet, it works wonders.
I never thought of that.
Simple techniques, big difference.
It's all about being resourceful.
It is.
Okay. And speaking of essential equipment, we can't forget.
Tripods.
Oh, yeah, tripods.
Unless you're going for that shaky look on purpose.
Right, that gets old fast.
It does.
So a tripod will give us those nice smooth shots.
Exactly. Makes everything look more professional.
Okay, so we've got camera, lighting, tripod. What else do we need to know before we actually start shooting?
Well, don't be afraid to experiment.
Oh,
Try different angles, close-ups for emotion,
okay.
wide shots to set the scene, move the camera around.
Yeah, keep it dynamic.
Even slow pans or tilts can look really cinematic.
Cool.
And most importantly, have fun.
Right. Got to enjoy the process.
It should be fun.
Shooting a video can be a lot of work, though, right?
It can be, yeah.
Especially if you have a lot of different shots to get.
Different locations, yeah. Time management is key.
Oh, yeah.
Make a schedule, stick to it as much as you can,
Be organized.
but also be ready to adapt.
Ah, because
Things don't always go to plan.
never do.
Sometimes the best moments come when you embrace the unexpected.
I like that. So plan, but be flexible.
Exactly.
So we've shot our video. Now what?
Now we enter the world of post-production.
The editing.
That's where the magic happens.
This is where those raw clips get transformed.
Into a polished masterpiece.
We'll be right back to talk all about that.
After the break.
How to edit your video and make it something truly special.
Can't wait.
Okay, so the shoot is done. We've got all this footage. Now what?
Now it's time to edit, to shape all that raw material into your music video.
All right, so where do we even begin?
First things first, you got to pick your software.
Editing software, right?
Yeah, there are a ton of options out there.
From basic free ones.
Super professional ones.
So how do we choose?
Well, if you're just starting out,
Okay,
something user-friendly is a good bet, like iMovie
I've heard of that.
or Windows Movie Maker.
Yeah.
Those give you all the basic tools, cutting, trimming, arranging clips.
Basic transitions, stuff like that.
Yeah, you can get the hang of it without being overwhelmed.
That's what I am, easily overwhelmed.
But if you're ready for something more powerful,
Okay.
something with more features, more control,
Yeah.
then you might look into Adobe Premiere Pro.
Oh, I've heard of that one. It's the industry standard.
It is, or Final Cut Pro X.
Okay.
Those give you way more control. Things like color grading,
Sounds fancy.
keyframing, working with layers.
Okay, so more advanced stuff.
Definitely a steeper learning curve, but
But worth it if you're serious about this.
totally. And there are tons of resources online to help you learn.
Tutorials, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
Okay, now one thing I've always wondered about is syncing the audio and video.
Yeah.
Seems kind of technical. Is it hard to do?
It sounds complicated, but honestly, most software makes it pretty easy.
Really?
They have features that automatically align everything for you.
That's amazing. Technology is great,
It is, so that takes care of the technical side.
but then there's the artistic side.
Ah, yes.
How do you actually shape the footage into a story?
Well, that's where your creativity comes in. You're thinking about pacing, rhythm.
Matching the visuals to the music.
Exactly. You're building a narrative,
Okay.
creating tension, taking the viewer on a journey.
Wow, so it's more than just cutting clips together.
Much more. It's an art form.
Okay, now what about visual effects?
Ah, yes. The fun stuff.
I love seeing those crazy effects in music videos,
Me too. Some of them are mind-blowing.
but I imagine that takes a lot of skill.
Some of it does, yeah. For those really complex effects, you need specialized software
Okay.
and a deep understanding of animation, compositing, all that.
So not something I can just do on my laptop.
Probably not, but there are simpler effects you can use.
Oh, really?
Yeah, things like light leaks, film grain,
Okay.
subtle animations, those can add a lot to your video.
Without needing a degree in visual effects.
Exactly. A lot of editing software has built-in effects that are easy to use.
Cool, so you can experiment and play around.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've edited our video, added some effects. What's next?
Now it's time to get it ready for YouTube.
To share with the world.
Exactly, and that means optimization.
Optimization.
Yeah, making sure your video gets seen by as many people as possible.
Right, because YouTube is a huge platform.
Massive. Millions of videos.
How do we make ours stand out?
It starts with the thumbnail and the title. Think of the thumbnail as the cover of a book.
I think.
It's the first thing people see. It's got to grab their attention.
Make them want to click.
Exactly. So choose an image that's visually striking.
Represents the video.
Yeah, and use contrasting colors so it pops.
Okay, what about the title?
The title needs to be short and catchy.
But also tell people what the video's about.
Right, and you got to think about keywords.
Ah, keywords.
Those are the words people type into the search bar.
Okay.
So you want to include relevant keywords in your title.
But it can't sound forced.
It's got to be natural, engaging.
Yeah, not like a robot wrote it.
Exactly, and the same goes for your video description.
The description.
Yeah, think of it as a mini blog post.
Okay.
Give people a little background on the song, the video.
Behind the scenes stuff.
Exactly, and naturally weave in those keywords.
So we're appealing to both viewers and the YouTube algorithm.
That's the goal.
Okay, now there are also some YouTube features we can use, right?
Absolutely, things like premieres and end screens.
Oh yeah, I've heard of those, but not sure how they work.
Premieres let you build excitement before your video even drops.
Okay.
You set a date and time. People can set reminders.
So it's like a virtual watch party.
Exactly. And end screens are great for keeping people engaged after the video's over.
Okay.
You can use them to recommend other videos.
From your channel.
Yeah, encourage people to subscribe, even link to your website.
So you're directing people to more of your content.
Exactly, keeping them in your world.
This is all great stuff. I'm learning so much.
Glad to hear it, but optimization is only part of the equation.
Okay, what else do we need to do?
We got to promote our video.
Marketing.
That's right, and social media is your best friend here.
I figured.
Share your video everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok.
Anywhere our fans might be.
Exactly, but don't just post a link. Get creative, share behind-the-scenes stuff.
Oh, cool idea.
Make eye-catching graphics.
Right
You could even run a contest.
to get people excited.
Exactly, and don't forget about collaboration.
Collaboration.
Yeah, reach out to other musicians, influencers.
Right.
See if you can cross-promote each other's stuff.
I like that, working together.
It's a win-win.
Now, what about email marketing? Is that still relevant these days?
It definitely is, especially for building a loyal fan base.
Okay.
When you email your subscribers, you're reaching them directly.
In their inbox.
Yeah, no algorithms to worry about.
So how do we write an email that actually gets people to watch our video?
Make it personal. Write like you're talking to a friend.
Okay.
Share your excitement about the video.
Give them a sneak peek.
Exactly. Make them feel special.
Okay, so we've covered editing, optimization, marketing. Is there anything else we need to know about YouTube?
One last thing, and it's all about engagement.
Engagement.
Yeah, connecting with your audience in the comments section.
Oh, right, the comments.
Don't just upload your video and disappear.
Okay.
Respond to comments, answer questions, start conversations.
Be present.
Exactly. It shows people you care.
And it keeps them coming back.
That's the idea.
But what if I get a ton of comments?
It can be overwhelming, yeah.
How do I keep up?
You don't have to answer every single one.
Okay.
Even responding to a few makes a big difference.
People appreciate it.
They do. It shows you're listening.
Okay, so we've covered a lot here.
We have, from concept to marketing.
It's amazing how much goes into making a music video.
It's a journey, but it's a rewarding one.
Yeah. And I think the biggest takeaway for me is
What's that?
YouTube is constantly changing.
It is, always evolving.
So we got to stay adaptable.
Absolutely. Be willing to experiment, try new things.
Keep learning.
Exactly. That's how you stay ahead of the curve.
And make sure our videos keep getting seen.
That's the goal.
Okay, so we're almost done with this deep dive.
Almost.
But before we wrap up, is there any final piece of advice you want to leave our listeners with?
Let me think. You know what's really interesting is that the journey isn't over when you hit that publish button.
Oh, you mean it's more than just making one video?
Yeah, each video, it's like a stepping stone. It becomes part of this bigger picture, your portfolio.
Ah, I see. So it's about building a body of work over time.
Exactly, showing your growth. You know, every project you learn something new.
Use skills.
Yeah, or like a new storytelling technique.
Or maybe you figure out what your audience really connects with.
Exactly, you're always learning.
So we don't need to put so much pressure on ourselves to make that one perfect video.
Nope, embrace the process, the learning curve.
Don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Everyone makes mistakes, that's how you grow.
This has been awesome. We've gone from brainstorming to shooting to editing to marketing.
It's a lot, yeah.
It really shows how much work goes into a music video.
But it's worth it. It's all about that initial spark.
That creative vision.
Yeah, that's what drives the whole thing.
So to everyone out there who wants to make music videos,
Go for it.
don't hold back. Get creative, experiment.
Find your style.
You got this.
And remember, you're not alone.
Oh, yeah. Community is so important.
Connect with other creators, share your work, support each other.
It's not always about competition.
Nope, collaboration is key.
We're all in this together.
That's the spirit.
Well, I think that about wraps it up for this deep dive.
Time to put all this into practice.
Yeah, go make some awesome music videos.
And if you ever need any inspiration,
Or just someone to bounce ideas off of.
you know where to find us.
We're always here to cheer you on
Keep creating.
and keep those creative sparks flying.